Hey everybody, Scott Luton, Supply Chain Now. We're continuing our coverage here in gorgeous Seattle at Amazon Business Reshape 2025. And I'm joined by my newest best friend, Prateek Singh, Practice Director with Everest Group. Prateek, how you doing?
Good, good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. I'll tell you, my brain is full. I've been soaking it up over the last couple of days. Same for you?
It's been quite a hectic number of days, I would say, and good number of sessions, good insights,
Yes.
networking, so a lot of things happening.
I've packed up 18 bags full of takeaways in the back of the truck as I head back to Atlanta. And I'm gonna pick your brain for some of your key takeaways in a second. But first, I want to start with a little fun warm-up question because Prateek, we've done some homework on you.
Oh.
And I understand when you're not doing big things in the industry, we can find you out 4x4ing off-road in a big old vehicle.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that's one of my hobbies, actually. So while I work in the city, but once in a while I do like to go for a ride, whether it be in the mountains
Yeah.
or hills nearby, or even for longer road trips as well. So we got some beautiful road trips down there in India. Some of them quite dangerous, but yeah, lovely roads.
So you tell me though, you haven't, when I was thinking of off-roading, I was thinking of like mountain ledges and losing tires, and it's all been pretty safe off-roading. Is that right?
Yeah. So I haven't really faced those kind of situations
Yeah.
yet, but yeah, I'm prepared for that if it happens.
Okay, always ready to go. Love it. But let's do this, Prateek. Before I get into picking your brain of some of the key takeaways, some of your industry observations, let's start with you telling us about your role and kind of your focus at Everest Group.
Yeah, sure. So, as you mentioned, I'm practice director at Everest Group, part of our enterprise platform and ops service line. Within this service line, I lead our research in the space of procurement and supply chain business process services, and increasingly expanding our coverage on the tech side, especially on the procure tech side. So, yeah, I lead our coverage on that as well. Been with the firm for a little over 6 years now, yeah. And as part of my stay there, have published a lot of industry reports, even led a lot of custom engagements for our clients. So yeah, it's been a fun journey so far.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
What's tougher, going off-road in a 4x4 or tracking and interpreting global supply chain lately?
I would say the latter. I mean, you don't really know what's going to happen from a supply chain standpoint.
That's right.
I feel we are in a state of perma-crisis.
Yes.
And yeah.
I'm going to steal that word from you. Okay, so as I was talking earlier, I've got a ton of gleanings myself, and I bet you do too. I know a lot of folks have been tracking you down to kind of get some of your take on what we've seen and talked through the last couple of days. What are a couple of your top takeaways from Reshape?
Well, actually, I quite like the keynotes that we had both today as well as yesterday. And the today one, the one that Rebecca took, I think it kind of I would say validated some of the things that we have been also taking to our clients and the industry as well as the overall economies being in a state of perma-crisis, and it's, I would say, very relevant for procurement and even supply chain, the areas that I track.
Right.
So that was interesting, and I didn't really know much about Amazon Business earlier, but yeah, this event actually helped me get a good understanding of what they are up to, and especially from an AI standpoint also, some of the innovations that they are making. So yeah, it has been a good learning experience.
Prateek, on that last point, one of my favorite parts from one of the sessions was the question they posed that I think a lot of folks have been asking. How can I buy for my business as easily as I do when I'm shopping for my family on Amazon? And I bet a lot of folks were struck with that question, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear that same question?
Yeah, I did, and I did get a lot of answers also through some of the sessions that we had. So Amazon's business seems to be doing quite amazing things on that front, and I was quite surprised to know that they serve 97 out of the Fortune 100 companies, so operate at a good scale.
Prateek,
And, yeah,
you're a quick study. Man, you already got the data and factoids. Okay.
that's
All
kind
right.
of part of my job.
All right, so let's broaden out for a minute. We're going to talk AI in a second, and I'm going to get some of your observations in general and on some of the tools that rolled out this week. But when you look at, because you're tracking and analyzing global procurement and sourcing, what are some trends? And there's a bunch of them, but what's a couple of trends you're tracking the most lately?
Well, I know we have been talking about it, and I know you may have some more questions
I
aligned to
certainly
that.
do.
But I would say that is the space that I'm looking at it. I would say very interesting. developments that are happening both from a tool standpoint, processes standpoint, and the kind of potential disruption that it can have. While generative AI, we're still getting used to it, and now there's a lot of talk about agentic AI. So yeah, interesting times ahead, and that's probably one of my key focus areas going ahead. And I think beyond that, it's actually kind of interesting as well for procurement specifically, because procurement traditionally had been a laggard when it came to digital adoption as you compare to some of the other areas, whether it be finance and HR. But I think AI actually would help it leapfrog and actually digitally transform itself for the future and not really be that traditional procurement function makes life difficult for, say, every part of the business.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard some similar things myself this week. Lots of experimentation, kind of to your point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of early stages, kind of figuring stuff out in terms of the procurement function in general at different companies. But one of the coolest things I heard this week, you may have heard this as well, is one CPO in the fintech space specifically talked about rather than waiting to get the CIO's attention and resources that everybody's trying to get, she trained up procurement practitioners, trained them up on AI and coding some things, and then put them to work experimenting.
Yeah.
And they made tremendous progress. And I love that story at the intersection of practitioner expertise and upskilling them in modern day technology and letting create some damage, impact rather, not damage.
Yeah, just to your point, I was part of some of the sessions as well, and some of the practitioners are actually wondering about whether they should buy or build some of this talent or some of these solutions in-house. And I think that's also an interesting question to ponder for procurement organizations. There's not really a right answer to that. It depends on where you are in terms of your
Right.
maturity, the kind of skills that you have, and the kind of buy-in that you have from your CIO, which I kind of relate to the story that you're talking about. So, yeah.
Prateek, good stuff. So you're kind of weighing in a little bit generally on AI. I know it's a big trend in global business, really, not just global supply chain. But did you have, when it comes to the AI-driven tools that Amazon Business announced this week, some of your early observations?
Well, I think the tools were quite real. So we do see a lot of AI washing happening in the industry, but I think some of the use cases that they highlighted, they seemed very real and very they're solving very industry-specific problems as well. For example, the solution that they had for the utilities industry in collaboration with AWS, that was very interesting, and it would actually impact or help people on the job, on the ground, who are managing utilities facilities, and the field services staff who would be looking at some of the disruptions that happen on the utility side. So I think that was really interesting. Beyond that, introducing the assistant as part of Amazon Business, I think that was also pretty cool, and it would actually help elevate the experience of business buyers and provide them contextualized insights, intelligence, something which they would need or traditionally were not really leveraging as part of their job, but having that visibility, I think, would really help them.
I think from my perspective, the Amazon Business Assistant you referenced, that probably generated the most buzz in my conversations, right? And then secondly, I love your call out of AI washing.
Yeah.
No one's got time for AI washing. Everything can't be AI. Is that right, Prateek?
True. I've connected with many stakeholders from the industry, both on the services side and the tech side as well. And there's a lot of AI washing in the sense that people are taking existing solutions, which may not really be AI, they may be just RPA-based solutions, and then adding just another layer of, say, a conversational Gen AI model on top of that, and calling that not even a Gen AI-based solutions, but even going as far as calling it an agentic AI solution. So I think the definition around what AI actually is and what agentic AI actually is, I think, is still not very clear in the market, and that's where, as I was really talking about what my focus is, to basically separate out the chatter from the reality and talk about the real life use cases that are happening in this space.
Prateek, I'm going to have to call you as I try to separate the signals from all the noise out there. So you'll take my call when I call and get your take on things?
Sure.
Okay, good stuff. Just not while you're off-roading, right? 2 hands, 3 and 10. Okay, so I got a question for you. What's next for you? What are you tracking next? What's the next chapter? Project, industry development, next event you're headed? What's next for you right now?
So next, in terms of research, and I think I kind of already talked about that during our discussion, is basically to nail down what's happening exactly in the in the AI world from a procurement lens, and also look at the impact that it's going to have on the procurement operating models as well. Because AI or agentic AI is not really your incremental solution, which you can use in pockets or leverage in pockets as part of your value chain. I think this would actually require reinvention of processes, reinvention of your operating models as well, and that's where it's going to be interesting. I would say technology readiness is one part of it, so you may actually have some of those promising solutions, but I think enterprise readiness is also going to be key. Whether enterprises are ready for that amount of change, would they be able to have the leadership buy-in, and will they actually be able to leverage the technology to its full extent? Because that's also been a challenge within procurement, right? You actually do leverage a lot of solutions, but are all of them adopted well by the organization or utilized well? Not by many, I would
Right.
say.
We've got a big adoption challenge
Yeah.
in a variety of different ways. That's a great call out. Okay, so Prateek, I know everybody's want to get some of your time this week. How can folks track you down once you leave Seattle?
Well, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I go by my name, Prateek Singh, practice director at Everest Group. I think you'll be able to find me fairly quickly there, and I'll
Out.
be happy to connect and discuss with any of the folks who are interested to connect about AI, procurement, or maybe off-roading.
Outstanding. All right, or if folks want help separating the signals from the tidal wave of noise out there in the market. So Prateek, expect my call, okay?
Yeah.
You can connect with Prateek at everestgrp.com and keep an eye on him as he's out in all rock and roll events, much like this one here in Seattle. Okay, Prateek Singh, Practice Director with Everest Group. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. And folks, stick around as we continue our coverage here at Amazon Business Reshape 2025. You can check it all out at supplychainnow.com.